everyone wants to move from one level to another. Everyone wants to move from one stage of their life to the other, but there are many issues that can amputate those plans. On today's episode of Lifeline with Comfort, I'm going to show you 3 of the issues of life that can amputate plans that you have for the next level. And I won't just stop there. I will also show you how you can improve your life. Make sure you don't go away. When we return, I will show you some of these things. God bless. I take my story and my lesson from the book of Mark chapter 5. It was the story of the woman with the issue of blood. The woman had an issue. Now hers was the issue of blood. But I'm going to relate it to our everyday issues that we have. She had an issue called the issue of blood. She was bleeding for 12 years. That's a long time, to go through any issue at all. She was bleeding, and what it meant to me as a woman is that she had lost her fertility. You can't be bleeding for 12 years and you are able to conceive. And so number one thing I noticed with that issue was she lost her fertility. I didn't want to stop there. I decided to take a look at the word fertility, and I discovered that fertility means the capability of producing, having a natural capability of producing. So what it meant for this woman, like it could be for you or me, was she lost her capability, the natural capability to conceive as a woman and produce. But listen, it could be capability in her business. It could be capability in her academics. It could be capability in career. She lost it for 12 years. Another thing I saw that is an issue of life, that is an issue that may have afflicted her for 12 years, was the fact that she didn't just lose her fertility or her capability to produce, but she also lost finances. The Bible recorded in the book of Mark chapter 5 that she said she had spent all. There are some situations you go through that you spend everything. It could be medical situations. You've gone from from NHS to private. You've gone everywhere. You've gone, paid a lot of money to make sure that you're fine, like her. And it could be your business. You've tried this business, invested so much funds in it, but you keep recording perpetual loss. That could be what, may have affected her, or one of the issues she's had. And so, because the Bible explicitly said it, the Bible doesn't say what it doesn't mean. He explicitly said it there, that she had spent all. In fact, he said she had spent all of those physicians. That means a lot of physicians made a living out of her problem. And this can also reflect in relationships. It could be that, you as a person have spent all trying to keep those friendships, trying to keep a lot of things around you. She had spent all. The third issue I want to look at is her relationships. This woman with the issue of blood, it was so clear that for 12 years, she spent money, she lost her fertility and productivity. But the third thing I noticed was when she came to Jesus, nobody accompanied her. There's this story that reminded me that if someone is in trouble, his or her friend can accompany them. It was the story of the man that was sick, and his friends brought him through the roof to meet Jesus. And so what I understand is that when you are going through a very hard time and you have great friends, they could bring you through the roof or by any means to meet the master. But in this story, you'll notice that none of his or her friends were recorded there. I didn't even see family members. It could be that this issue made friends to stay away from her. There are things you go through in life, there are things I have gone through in life that have made me know the reality of relationships. I've done a playlist of relationships videos that I have done before now, and I'll put it up for you to have a look, and then that could help you to understand various kinds of relationship. There are David and Jonathan relationships, there's Elijah and Elisha relationship, there are various kinds of relationships. So please make sure you look at maybe the description or the card up there. And so it seemed like this woman lost relationships. It seemed she lost everything. She had an issue. Sometimes, we lose relationships not just because things are happening with us and people are running away. It could be that we ourselves have also changed. There are times where issues of life can actually change you. Heartbreak can change you, and you make a decision and say, you know what, nothing, I'm not going to have any relationship for the next 5 years. Lack of trust. Sometimes some people break your trust, and then you tell yourself, I'm not going to have this anymore. There are times people have walked into my life and my husband's life, and we tell ourselves, you know what, we need to draw a line to how we relate with certain people. And so there are issues that can come up that can help you to make decisions. And honestly, we may not know exactly why nobody was around her, but she went straight to the master. Now, I talked about fertility, which is her productivity. I talked secondly about her finances, and the third thing, she lost relationship. Those are the issues that were presented in that story. And for everyone at the sound of my voice, there are issues that have made you to lose something or another. But in this video, I'm going to tell you how to move past those issues and improve your life drastically. The number one thing you can do is to become optimally productive. What do I mean? This woman went to who could help her. Jesus was the one that could help her. If you have an issue of incapability of natural productivity, what it means is what is inside of you, you're not able to bring it out. You must locate a helper. So the first thing I'll recommend is locate someone that can help you in that aspect. It could be your career. There must be somebody that is doing something in that area and can help you and hold you by the hand. It could be in business. There's no business you are trying to do that, somebody has not understood the principles of having a business. And so you can have a mentor that can help you. It could be maritally. The journey of marriage is such that it is all-encompassing. You could learn how to love your wife from somebody, or understand how to love your wife better from somebody's life. You could understand how to treat your children from someone. You must try to improve your productivity maximally. The other thing you can do is you can try to associate with people that can help you, like I've said. And so you get friends, create a group of friends. It could be on LinkedIn, just could be anywhere. But try as much as you can for your life to improve, to ensure that your productivity is maximum. I have a couple of friends. I call them accountability partners. Whenever I have things to do, in my journey of life, I speak to them. I talk to them. It could be sometimes once a day, sometimes once in 2 weeks, but I talk to them because we give each other encouragement to push. May I say something? That all of you may not be in the same line. I have friends that are not ministers, are not pastors, but they are my greatest confidants on earth. And so there may not be people doing the same thing that you're doing, but they have a drive. They can push you and propel you to your next level. Now that was for productivity. And when we come to finances, there are various ways you can improve your life by improving your finances. What do I mean by improving your finances? The woman spent all. You're going to have to learn not to spend all. Yeah, in her own situation, it was her health. But if you bring this to the business life, to business world or everyday life, you cannot spend all and be rich. And so you must learn as a Christian, as a person, to develop savings culture. No matter how little you earn, you can save something. My kids have a piggy bank, and I thought in December we'll be able to open it. But the boys told me, no, we're not opening. We want to save some more. And sometimes they put 1p in it. Other times they put 50p. Sometimes they put 10 pounds, But at the end of the day, they are learning and developing a savings culture. And so if you want to improve your life in this new year, develop a savings culture. Don't put all of your hands in your mouth. There's an adage in my place that says you walk with all your 10 hands and you put it in your mouth, it turns to poverty. The truth is, there is he that scattereth and yet increaseth, but he that withholdeth much and it turned to nothing. However, if you scatter in the wrong places, you won't reap. And so you must be honest enough with yourself, and truthful to know where and how to scatter. So your finances, and one of the protective ways, one insurance you can give your finance if you're a Christian, is by fighting and by giving your offerings and by doing your free will donations and by looking after your parents and by giving to others. You know, there are various ways. But your finances should not be completely spent. You can earn £1,000 and spend £1,000 no matter what is happening. You know, there are some friends or people around you that once your salary is about coming, they'll give you a call. They'll say this is happening to them, that you need to be careful. There's a quote I love so much. I heard it a couple of years ago and I love it so much. The quote says, do not make anyone's emergency your priority. There are some people that are good at calling on 30th of January. There are some people that are just, oh my God, 1 a.m. I knew somebody like that. At some points of my life, I had to just, because I noticed it had become a habit. And so for your finances, you need to find a way to spend lesser than you're doing. Every successful man I know in history has a savings culture. They save, they invest, and they don't waste. So I want you to save, invest, and avoid waste. The truth is, what you have in your hand can do a lot. You know, one thing I like about God is He handed every man something. He handed us all time. He handed us all talent. And He handed every one of us treasure. The time He gave you is the same He gave Elon Musk. The time He gave you is the same He gave Mark Zuckerberg. So whatever you do with your time will determine if your life will improve this year. And you see, the good thing about that story was she had spent all, but she was ready to improve her life. She needed to move from where she was to where she wanted to be. I want to read a story that would inspire you so much. There was a man called Mark Cuban. Before making billions selling his company to Yahoo, Cuban failed at a variety of jobs. He failed. This woman spent all. The woman with the issue of blood didn't have proper relationships because we would have seen it in that story. But she didn't. Maybe she had, but she had too much issues like me and you, and people back off. Maybe she had friends, but she's had 7 hard breaks, and so they had to walk away from her. But can I tell you that a closed door is not a closed destiny? And so look what happened. Cuban failed at a variety of jobs. He failed as a carpenter, a carpenter, you can imagine. He also failed as a cook. He failed as a waiter. He couldn't open a bottle of wine. He'll be the same with me, actually. I don't know how to open a bottle of wine. All right. And then he says of his failure, listen to this. Listen to this. I've learned that it doesn't matter how many times you failed. You only have to be right once. You see, that woman, 12 years. 12 years she tried every physician. But when she heard the master was in the house, the master was around, she gave it another try. Someone at the sound of my voice, I want to tell you, give it a try. You failed at that blog, try again. You failed in a relationship, try again. You failed in that office, try again. You failed that exam, try again. He said, I tried to sell powdered milk. I was an idiot lots of times, and I learned from them all. And so this woman, I can see a level of persistence because she wanted to improve her life. And I'm here on your screen today to tell you to keep at it, because as much as you try, the chances are that you will get it right. You will get it right this time around. Now, the second thing, I talked about her fertility, which is her productivity, and then her finances. Now, if you come down to relationships, how can you improve your life? You must improve your relationships. I talk about relationships a lot because you are an average of the 5 closest person to you. The 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you check the 5, you are an average. If you have 4 friends that are failures, you are the 5th failure. If you have 4 successful friends, there is every tendency that you will be the 5th. If you hang around depressed people, I'm not saying you shouldn't love people that have issues, but if you hang around depressed people all the time, you find your face always sorry. You find yourself, always talking yourself, out of pity. And so you must surround yourself, have valuable relationships. Have relationships that can help you. So that when it is your downtime, real great relationships, no one will back out. I've had downtimes in life. In fact, I've made some of my major relationship decisions were made in my downtimes. You don't know a friend until you're in trouble. You don't know a family member until you're in trouble. And so what this video is here to tell you is encourage you to build valuable relationships. And then when you want to test relationships, test people when you are in trouble. Because when you're in good times, everybody loves you. There's a saying that goes, success has many friends. And so you need to make sure that you examine the kind of friends you have so that your relationship this year will improve. I'm hoping that every of these points will help you to improve your life this year. I like to read from you. I like to know if you tried to do any of these things. I like to know the kind of effort you put to make sure that you have optimal productivity, make sure that your finances, you're saving or you're doing something regarding your finances, or make sure that you're improving your friendships and relationships. I would like to read about that. I would like you also to drop your comments. I don't know if I've said you should subscribe, or kindly subscribe, support me, share this with somebody, and God will bless you and make his face to shine upon you in Jesus' mighty name. You can follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at Official Comfort Adejoh on Facebook and on Instagram. The Lord bless you in Jesus' mighty name. Bye-bye.